Hi and welcome back to my channel. I am Koala. If you're new here, I am a shamanic practitioner mainly within the Nordic tradition that we're here to talk about today. But I'm also initiated into Nustakarpa and the Moonlight Key rites. So this is I don't know what installment it will what episode of this series the information about that will be in the description box. But today we are going to talk about the last one of the middle worlds. So here is the map, and here is the last one of the middle worlds. So we have done all the upper worlds, and then we have done this one, and then the middle one last time. And then now we are here. So this is the rune of Sol or Sovelo, and it represents the middle world of light. It's actually called Ljusalvheim, or the home of the light elves. So we talked about the home of the black elves a couple of episodes ago, and this world is the opposite of that one. So who lives here? Well, a lot of beings live here. The ones that have given this place its name are the light elves. So in opposed to the black elves that we talked about when we talked about Svartalvheim, these are light beings that represents the light and the light within us. So everything good that is within us, that is visible to the world, everything or the light within us, even though we don't see it or feel it, it's there, and it's the light that people are drawn to. So we might be drawn to familiar settings, familiar people, and we all know that some people that we are drawn to and form a relationship with don't necessarily give us healthy relationships. So it's not all well and good in the inner world of Ljusalvheim, or the home of the light elves, because these parts of us that are brilliant, that are radiant, can sometimes be overshadowing, or like put what is necessary in the shadows. So this is where our people pleasing, our empathy, our like not all of our empathy and not all of our people pleasing, but what makes it go overboard, like what makes it be too much, so and unbalanced, because we need to balance within us. We need to balance what is in our home of the light elves and what is in the home of the black elves. So our shadows and our light, we need to balance that, because too much light is not good. So imagine like this: the higher you fly, the harder you fall, and that is kind of the message from being in the light too much. There are a lot of people in the spiritual community that are all about love and light, and they don't want to acknowledge their dark sides. They might think that they have done all the healing. They don't recognize that healing is not a constant, but it's a journey, and it's we always need to strive towards a new balance, because we learn things, we go through things, and we meet new people, and we are challenged, and we need to take all of these new lessons and balance them. We need to take the good with the bad and balance everything all the time. So balance is not continuum, it's not consistent, but there are, so the people that have like a really good or like big part of themselves in the light, like they spend a lot of time in the light. That's a more accurate way to put it. People that spend too much time in the light, opposed to the dark side of themselves, exploring that, they they might and will often become too egocentric, even though they think they are empathetic. They might think that they are doing good, but they are really they're not doing as good as they want to be doing, because they prioritize the wrong things, because they don't want to see the dark sides of themselves. They don't want to see what they project, or they project things outwards that they don't deal with themselves. So there's a lot of things in the light. In the light are the good things about us, like the light within us, our positive traits, and a lot of joy. But it's also filled with everything that we want to put forward, opposed to what we don't want people to see. So in Ljusalvheim, the home of the Black Elves, inside of us we have all the parts of ourselves that we want to hide from ourselves and other people, parts that might be visible anyway, but we don't want them to be. But we are somewhere aware of them, and it's the same, but also the opposite in Ljusalvheim, because this part of ourselves are filled with things that we want to put forward, that we want people to see, and we don't always recognize that people see more than what we want them to see, and so we have like a blind spot there. So we need to heal ourselves from within when we journey to Ljusalvheim, is to really see what is hidden behind the light, because the light forms shadows. Everything we cast the light upon, there are shadows behind it, and journeying into this part of the inner cosmos helps us to see what are we hiding from ourselves, what is hiding in the light, what light are we seeing that is enhanced by us, but not really, that shouldn't be, that should be balanced with something else. So in the outer world of Ljusalvheim, there are light elves, and we can meet these in the forest, we can meet them in a lot of different places, and they represent we call them like fertility entities or fertility beings, just as we did with the Black Elves. So the Black Elves bring the fertility from the earth, from everything that is below the earth. All the beings of nature that are below the earth is connected to this rune and to this part of the world. So it's slightly beneath the earth, but it's not in the underworld. So it's between the underworld and the upper world, but beneath the soil. And in Ljusalvheim, it's everything that is above the ground, but up in the air, like where the sun shines. Everywhere the sun shines, that is below the upper world. So it's like we have the dark elves here and we have the light elves here, and they are on opposite sides. So here we have the sun, and everything that it shines upon is represent this world and these creatures. And we all know that everything that sparkles isn't gold. That's a Swedish saying, but everything that glitters isn't gold, everything that sparkles isn't gold. And then we have everything that is in the shadow and beneath the earth, and that thrives in darkness. And we need both the light and the soil, the darkness of the soil, to fertilize ourselves, to grow, to expand. And that's what the world needs as well. We need the light and we need the darkness, and we need it to balance each other out. So that's one of the main, you can maybe say, dogmas of the Nordic shamanism, that we need both the light and the dark to survive, and that the light is not equivalent to good, because there's a lot of things within the light that is just like I wonder what the word in English is. Do I have a dictionary that's not on where I have my camera? There's a really good word for it in Swedish that is Hägring. So I don't think I have somewhere to look it up, but I will put it in the description box. Some things in the light isn't as good as it seems. It's an oasis, but it's not really there. It's just you know, reflections of things and projections. And then everything that's in the darkness isn't evil. Right? Almost nothing in the darkness is evil, unless we view it that way and give it that kind of life. I hope you understand what I mean. So there's no element. If there was to be an element connected to this world, it would be light, but light isn't an element in the Nordic tradition. In the Nordic tradition, as you know so far, I hope, if you watched me for a while, we have 5 elements, and it's air, fire, earth, water, and ice. So there is no element connected to this part of the cosmos, not the inner, not the outer, but it's the concept of light, and it's everything that dwells in the light. And it can be, it's sometimes the beings of this world can be seen like shimmering, I would almost say like shimmering shadows. Like instead of shadows, it's like shimmering, glittering things that you see in the light. Like when the sun hits earth that is really hot and the air becomes really hot, and you see like the air is doing like a dance, and you can almost see like rainbows in it if it's moist, and like everything that reflects is a representation of this world. And it's a lot of times it's just an hägring. I don't know the word, but it's like a trick of the eye, and we think we see something that might not really be there, and we give it too much thought and too much too much life, whether on, and we give it too much credit, you know. So the benefits of journeying to this world is that when it comes to the inner cosmos, we can see what we are hiding from ourselves. We can see what is hiding behind the light, and we can see what the light is, what's good and less good with the light that we are putting forth and bringing into the world. So what is projections and reflections, and what is really there. And it's kind of the same with the outer cosmos. If we bring this into the outer cosmos, and we journey like behind the veil in the outer cosmos, we can do the same thing, but with places and people. So we can go behind the veil into the middle world and visit this part of the middle world, Ljusalvheim, and we can see what is just a shimmer and not really there. What is illusion? That's a good word, right? What is the illusion and what is really there? I didn't know it was gonna be so hard to describe these concepts in English, but I hope that you understand what I'm talking about. I'm gonna look up the word Hägring and put it in the description box. So I think that's everything I have to say about this part of the cosmos. So it's the last one of the middle worlds. It's called Ljusalvheim, which is literally light elf Heimer, but we can translate it to the home of the light elves. So I could sit here and talk a long time about my experiences going into this world, but I would prefer that you not read up on it, because all of these worlds needs to be experienced. So if you have like a basic knowledge of what it is that I hopefully have given you in this video, then you go into, when you do a shamanic journey into this world, go into it as always with a really clear intention, a purpose, and do it with someone that really knows how to journey and to bring you back and ground you properly. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want more content from me, please like and subscribe. And we have 3 more worlds to get through, and those are the underworlds or the lower worlds of the cosmos. I will see you next week, and walk in beauty. Xingling!